Hello, everyone. Welcome to another live hosted by me, Mr. Philly. Today we're discussing our favorite food, and I know this is a question that we could talk about for a hot minute. And I mentioned it many, many times before. My favorite food is pizza, 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 pizza. It's like Little Caesars. Because I used to frequent there all the time when I was a kid, and that was the place to go. I think that was the best pizza place in the world, honestly. When I back in the '90s, I'm a '90s kid, so yeah, everything '90s related. Hey, let me know about it. I'm your guy. Um, pizza. I think pizza is it's just amazing. The flavor, the tomato sauce and the dough and the cheese, the mozzarella. I'm like a five cheese pizza. That's amazing. That's what I like about it. Sushi, very good. I love sushi too. Oh, sushi is amazing. Oh yeah, phenomenal. Yeah. I'm right up there with you. That's up there in the top five. But yeah, but pizza, the reason why is because tomato sauce, the baked dough, and the cheese. I'm more of a five cheese. I like five cheese type of pizza. That kind of a thing. Um, and what do you call it? I don't like I said, I don't like too much meat on my pizza because I think it takes away the flavor of the pizza. I like cheese and plain cheese pizza. That's it. Just like Kevin McAllister. Had anybody ordered me a plain cheese? I mentioned this many, many times, but yes. Um, I think that's really, authentic. That's what I like. I don't like too much meat on my pizza. But anyway, there's sometimes I like a margherita pizza or a garden pizza. You go to Italy, you can find those like garden pizzas. They just put straight tomatoes on it and then the cheese kind of thing. Cheese pizza. That's what it is. Lovely cheese pizza for me. Mr. McAllister, here's your very own cheese pizza. you know? So yeah. I'm not gonna stay on too long, but I know this is a topic that I could discuss for a hot minute. So yeah, what's your favorite food? Yeah. And I don't know if I have a second. There's like a top five. And I elite. Sushi is probably in the top five though. Sushi, I do love sushi though. It's I think it's delicious. A lot of people don't. I'm a lot of people I work with don't like it. Honestly, though, yeah. I've talked about that before too. Um, I always said that's a sin to put that on there. You should be arrested for putting pineapple on pizza. I don't want pineapple on pizza. I'm not American. That's so American. However, though, I will say I do like a stuffed crust, and I think Pizza Hut was the one that introduced that. I was gonna buy a Pizza Hut pizza tonight, and I was actually going to discuss, because Pizza Hut's like a '90s nostalgic pizza place. My parents never went there, they didn't really like it, but I remember they had Scholastics, and that's the only way I tried it, but I think it used to be better, and they had the best commercials, and, they're the ones who introduced the, backwards eating pizza, because it has the stuffed crust or whatever, so, yeah. Um, but I think nowadays they're actually trying to bring back the nostalgic place of Pizza Hut. They're trying to build it more nostalgically like they used to, because it used to be a lot different. It used to have more of a restaurant feel, like a pizza parlor feel. But now I think they're trying to bring that back because I remember I know that I am a small content creator. I mean, yeah, honestly, I mean, like, you have to have 100,000 followers to actually become a real content creator, at least. So yeah, I'm 99,000 away. So we'll see. I mean, I was looking that up too, and I had that conversation with somebody the other day. Yeah, I mean, 100,000 is really, a game changer. So that's when you start making money, and that's when you actually start becoming more noticed, actually. So yeah. I mean, 1,000 is good, it's a good milestone and everything, I mean, like, only 10% of creators have 1,000 followers or more, actually, and I didn't even know that. So, yeah, people on YouTube. So, I am now a part of the 10% of YouTubers that have 1,000 or more, but you know what? With you guys' help, I can get to 100,000 subscribers in no time, so we'll see. Really? 31? Even you Oh, wow. See, and, that's pretty interesting because I remember when I first started, I only posted videos once a week, and I actually got more subscribers back that way, back in the day, when I only posted once a week, and I used to post just a short. And I was really, and then when I finally got to 50 subscribers, I was so happy, and I was like so happy to go live. Now I actually it takes me a little bit longer. Oh, I love pickles. Pickles are amazing. Oh, I love pickles with salt and pepper. Oh man, they're so delicious. But yeah. I'm definitely a small no, I'm definitely a small content creator. I only have 1,000 followers, but, I'm but that is a good milestone because, people see that you have 1,000 subscribers, they're more likely to subscribe. Well, this guy has 1,000 subscribers, well, he probably has some really good content, so, yeah, that's where it goes, you know? That's how that goes. But anyway, back to Pizza Hut, I was gonna get a Pizza Hut pizza, just to do a review, and because, like I said, they had the best commercials, and they're the people that introduced the stuffed crust pizza. That's the only American thing that I do like. I do like a stuffed crust pizza. That's it. And I made a stuffed crust pizza. I don't know if I ever posted it though. I may have posted it, but I don't think I was on YouTube when I posted it. But anyway, oh, I love Sonic the Hedgehog. I watched it, that was a show of the '90s, absolutely. Of course, I watched Sonic the Hedgehog. Of course, I played Sonic the Hedgehog. I grew up in the '90s, of course. I love the '90s nostalgia, absolutely. I didn't watch the movies, though. I have not watched the movies that came out. I think they're coming out with a 4th one, though. I need to watch them, though. I know the Quran. I know what it is. I've read a few bits of it, but I don't know it that well inside out. But yeah, I have read a few parts of it. Mm. Oh no, I like sour pickles. I don't like sweet pickles either. I think the sourness is really what gives it the flavor, honestly. I think sour pickles with salt and pepper. I think pickles should be more sour. I think that's what gives them the flavor. I do, but I do like pickles. Yeah, salty, savory. I've never seen that movie. I've heard of it. I remember it being advertised like crazy, but I've never seen that movie. It's an old movie though. I am from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. I live in the great state of Missouri right now. Yeah, and I'm going to be visiting Philadelphia here in a couple weeks, so we'll see how it goes. But yeah, I mean, like, Pizza Hut. Yeah, I mean, like, we used to go to Little Caesars. That was, you go to Kmart. They had a Little Caesars cafe. Oh my gosh, those were the days. I'll tell you. I tell you, they were the days. But yeah, Belmont. Wow, it's interesting. Interesting. So cool. So cool. All right. Well, nice to see you, Lee. Thanks for stopping by. I really appreciate it. Kensington. Really? You lived in Kensington? I'm probably going to do that on my live, honestly, go down the strip of Kensington and, talk about the drug epidemic there and everything because it's really sad. But yeah. Bye, Elite. What's up? Not a honest. How are you? I thought you left and didn't want to come back. Nice to see you again, though. Virginia. I have not been to Virginia yet, though. So yeah, that'd be pretty interesting. Well, I don't know about every American. Some Americans own guns. I really don't know. I'd have to look up that statistic though about owning guns in America. But in my state, the state that I live in is really is pretty good about owning guns. You don't need a license. You don't need paperwork. You can buy it privately or separately. In some states, you actually need like 12 steps to actually own a gun. But yeah, I'm just answering this question. This gentleman asked me about owning a gun in America, but yeah. I mean, I own several guns, for protection, because I've been a born and raised Republican, so yeah. Anyway, in my state, I mean, if you get pulled over, you don't even have to tell a cop that you have a gun in the car, so yeah. According to my state laws, that's what I was told, so we'll see. I do not have a girlfriend, no. I mean, I almost got married several years ago, but it just didn't work out. And I am going on a date on Sunday. I do date. I haven't had an active dating life in a while, but I do try to date, casually date, and we'll see. And but yeah, I'm also where I'm at right now, and this is something that I should probably talk about. Like being a YouTuber, I mean, like that takes up a lot of my time, honestly. And not, I met a lot of people recently that just don't do social media, which is okay. And I don't want to be on social media either because I know it's time consuming. But I do this. This is my job, and I have followers that care about me, and I have followers that I like to, satisfy with my cooking content, and I love sharing with people. And the reason why I'm a YouTuber now is because I used to think that YouTube was like, oh yeah, I love your content, I hate your content, love hate. But I it's now a social network for me, and people love my content, and I made friends with people, and I feel like I can be myself, because when I was a kid, I always wanted to be an actor, so I think I'm doing the next best thing. That's why I'm on YouTube. So I mean, like, and I'm not even trying to be. I don't even have to be an actor. All I have to do is be myself. I feel like I can be myself here. I feel like I can do what I want. I can feel like I can be me, And this is why I love being a YouTuber, because I can be me and I can do what I love to do, and I can love share with other people. So yeah. Oh, I love New York. Right, right. I've crossed through a lot of states too. But, I would really love to travel the world someday because I do love to travel though. I mean, like, at the same time, when I go to a state or a city that I haven't been to before, it'd be nice to have a travel guide, and we'll see how that goes. But yeah, but it's nice to have a travel guide. It is a little intimidating to go a city or a state that you've never been to before. That's alien to you. So I mean, like, it's always good to actually. Oh, I mean, it depends where you go. I mean, it depends on where you go. I mean, and America itself is an expensive place to eat. I mean, going out to a fast food restaurant is almost as expensive to go to a five-star restaurant. Things are just so expensive in America. At the end of the day, I really wish, and I did consider moving to another country, but like, because I see other countries, the third world countries, I wish America could be like that. America's not like that though. Why can't we have things that are cheaper? Because we continuously print money. I don't mean to do politics, but America is getting more is an expensive place to live now. And it's getting worse actually. So yeah, it's really sad, but yeah. I probably should. I probably should. Yeah. Well, one of these days, I was considering moving to another country at some point in my life, just because, I mean, the cost of living in America is getting worse. And they say if it gets worse, nobody's going to be able to afford to buy a house unless you're a millionaire. But I will say, America is a great place to live in some sense. Like, I mean, there's rich, poor, and the American dream. The American dream, they call it. Basically, no matter what class you live in, no matter if you're rich, poor, or middle class, you can reach to the top. You can still do that, but it's a little bit harder now, I think, with the economy the way it is. But yeah, that's what it is. Oh, I don't know. Oh yeah, I mean, like, but I still believe in the American dream, and I support the American dream. I do love being an American, and I support American. I support land of the free, home of the brave. I consider myself a patriot of this country. I want to be a patriot of the country because there's a lot of things that you can do in this country that you cannot do in other countries. Because I met a lot of foreign exchange students when I went to school, so yeah, it is good. But the only sad thing is our economy and money wise. That's it. We continuously print money constantly, but that's the problem. And other countries don't do that. I'm getting political. Let's go back to the food. Let's go back to the food. I have this mustache only for the fact that, like, I can't, grow facial hair too much. My work won't let me grow too much facial hair because I have to wear beard nets, this net, that net, because they don't want to contaminate the product that I work with. I work at a factory, and somebody got hair in a product. Now my job is having a freak out. Now everybody has to wear beard nets and hair nets and everything. This is all that I can grow that I can get away with. Basically, that's it. If I grow out my beard, I mean, I have to wear a net, and it's so hot in this factory that I work in, so that's the problem. That's why I'm only growing out my mustache, and I'm probably gonna shave it very soon because I do not like having a mustache that much. I think I look better with a beard. I think I look better with a Wolverine look. You know what I mean? So yeah. Oh, I have not tried Indonesian food. I don't think, but I do love Indian food. I do love some Asian food though. Indian food is probably my second favorite cuisine though. But yeah. Apparently you do because you commented. Apparently you care enough to comment. That's for sure. But you're still here. I'm so boring, but you're still here. Oh wow. I try. Well, I try. I try. What's wrong with me? I'm a kid at heart. I have a kid at heart personality. Oh yeah. I mean, like, I actually met somebody and I dated a girl recently from Germany, and she said, beer is like the drink over there. She said that like beer is actually more cheaper than water over there. So it's pretty interesting. I would love to try their beer, and I know they have really good beer over there. But yeah. Well, Europe is cheap actually. Getting there is the expensive part, but when you get to Europe, it's a lot cheaper than America. So yeah. A spaghetti. Oh, you like a spag Oh, I love spaghetti too. That probably it would fall in number 2. Number 2 would be spaghetti for me. Vaguely. Kinda, sort of, vaguely, but yeah. I didn't mean to keep this live that long, but I love talking to you guys. Gnocchi. Oh, you like gnocchi. Oh my goodness, so good, so good. Yeah, gnocchi, fried gnocchi. I made a video of that too. So good. So no, I need to make gnocchi again. Very good though. Euros. They use the euro dollar. Yeah, I know. I mean, it's still, worth a little bit more than the dollar that we have here. But I used to be well, I still am, but regularly, not regularly, but part time. I'm an Uber driver, and I drive a lot of students or not student foreign exchange students, and I drive a lot of soldiers home that get stationed in Europe, and they tell me that like Europe is a lot cheap. Just getting there is expensive. That's it. So yeah. Most American food. Well, it's an interesting question. I would say probably a burger. The Big Mac is very American. That's the most American dish you can get. A Big Mac or a chili dog. Oh man, I make a mean Big Mac sauce. A cheeseburger. That's very American. Hello, Ian. How you doing? How you doing? Yeah, fair enough. No, it's true. Yeah. Oh yeah, cheeseburger. You can't go wrong with that. And I've done a lot of reviews with fast food burgers and everything, but I am one of those kind of like unhealthy in some sense. I'm healthier than I used to be. I try to limit going out to eat, fast food once a week, but I slacked a little bit. But I do enjoy a Big Mac every now and again, and I do enjoy McDonald's, and I do enjoy unhealthy fast food. And if I want a burger, I want it juicy and I want it dripping. I want a healthy, American burger, basically. So yeah, I've said this many, many times. If I'm gonna eat out, I want it juicy and tasty. You know what I mean? So yeah. But but anyway, so that's that. I have no idea what that is, but you're about to get blocked. Well, yeah, it would be, but, America, I'm in America. I'm in one continent. I'm talking about, the most popular food in America that people eat. And I think pizza is probably up there. So, yeah. I'm just saying, all over the world, every continent has different cuisine that's really popular there. So, yeah. I'm just talking, American, basically, American cuisine or whatever, because, I'm in America. So, yeah. I mean, that's fine. No, I mean, I don't normally just like blocking people, but if somebody says something inappropriate or somebody asks me a question that's really vulgar or something like that, then you're gonna get blocked. That's it. Or if somebody says something that's really weird, or somebody asks me a question that's really racial and ask it like 20 times, then that's gonna be a problem. Does that make sense? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I agree. But I will say, the food that we make here in America is very unhealthy. My father talks about this all the time, every day. He says, if we make the food that we make here in America and we eat the food, and you would get arrested if you made the food that we made in Europe. You know, America has the most unhealthy food in the world. And I don't know if you ever guys ever watched YouTube channels about, people going to Mexico and them giving regular American Coke to a Mexican saying, "What the heck is in that food? What do you guys put in your Coke or whatever, the soda?" It's so disgusting. I mean, we put so much artificialness in our food, and McDonald's is so artificial. It's just so bad for you, but it is tasty. I will say that, you know. And there's a general store actually not too far from me that actually has real Coke with real sugar or whatever, real Pepsi, and it does taste better. Yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah, it probably tastes healthier and the McDonald's that you guys probably have in Indonesia or Asia is probably better than American. It's probably healthier. So, yeah. Chicken biryani, all that, Indian cuisine is my second favorite cuisine. I love it so, so much. So, yeah. Oh, dear. Oh, yeah, yeah, no, that's totally understandable. I have family members that are real health nuts. They don't do this or they don't drink soda or anything like that. I totally understand. That makes a lot of sense. And I should be more healthier. I'm more healthier than I used to be, but I do like the unhealthy American food that we have. I do like soda. I don't drink it. I try to drink at least once a week, but I love McDonald's. I love the unhealthy food that we have. Because they do make it tasty. I'm not gonna lie, I mean, like, but I do like, homemade food. Being a avid cook that I am, I like homemade. I like food in general. There's a lot of things that I like. I'm a foodie. That's good. Honestly, it's not good for you anyway. I mean, soda from other countries probably would be better for you because they don't have all that crap in it. But yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely. Nice to indulge every now and again. That's what I try to do. I used to be way more unhealthier. I used to be 20 pounds heavier, and that's why I used to be overweight, and that's why I lost 30 or 40 pounds at one time before I became a YouTuber because I cut out bread for like a month, all the month of Lent, and I cut out soda and everything. So it was a really good time. I'm the thinnest I've been since I was like 27, actually. Yeah. I mean, between 27 and 33, 32, I was actually overweight. I was pretty heavy dude, actually, and I was a little pudgy. I don't think I look good with a dad bod. So, yeah. And, after my breakup, after my grandmother passed away, God rest her soul, and a lot of things happened. I feel like my life went to shit. I started, going on a diet. I started doing a lot of intermediate fasting, and I was so proud of myself. I lost 30 pounds in a month. So, yeah. Oh, absolutely. No, I agree. No, you're absolutely right. That's one of the biggest problems there. Oh, you're fine. You're fine. No, I mean that's what inspired me to become a YouTuber, and that's what inspired me. At first I went to Instagram, and then I went to Facebook, and then I went to Rumble, and I still have a Rumble channel. I don't post as much on Rumble anymore, but yeah, that's where I get more political. But you're allowed to be more political on there. But I vowed that I would never go to YouTube, but I'm very happy that I did go to YouTube because YouTube is like more of a social network for me. I met some really great people that are like minded, and they're really good people. So, and I love sharing my love and passion for food and food reviews and cooking with you guys. It's great. Oh, absolutely. No, I never forget about you guys. I just made a video just relating to that, yeah, and I hope so someday. I'm just trying to make a living with it, like all of you guys. I'd be very, very happy when I get monetized, and you guys are gonna know about it. I'm gonna make sure that you guys know about it. But yeah, of course, I'm not gonna forget about you. I hope to be the YouTuber that treats all his fans with kindness and love, like you guys show me, because you guys are the reason why I have a platform. That's the YouTuber that I want to be. All right, guys. Well, I've been on here longer than I should have been, but it was really nice meeting you guys, and it was really nice meeting you, sir. 666. That's a weird number, but anyway. Of course. Yes, of course. Mr. Beast. And it's interesting. Before I go, I wanted to say, he's a really, really good example of somebody who actually started with nothing and worked his way to the top, actually. Lee. Okay, nice to meet you, Lee. Thank you very much. And thank you very much for your input. You've been very kind. Um, you know, he was living with his mom, and his mom said gave him an ultimatum. Go to school or get a job. And I don't know how long she gave him. She probably gave him at least a year. If you don't get a job or a go to school in a year, then you gotta get kicked out of my house, basically. And he probably started posting. He probably ate, slept, and breathed YouTube. He probably made hundreds of videos a week, actually. And, by the time his mom gave him the ultimatum, it was like, "Well, you never got a job, you never went to college. Goodbye." Basically, at that point, he actually was already making money and he could support himself. So yeah, he probably ate, slept, and breathed the YouTube, and that's probably what everybody who wants to be at the top should be doing. So he worked and he does challenges. Like, I think one of his first challenges was reading half the dictionary in several hours. So he probably made long videos of reading the dictionary. So yeah, so it's pretty interesting. So yeah. Oh, yeah, and, yeah, he's a really good example of that, and now he has his own network on Tubi, I think, too. He's a billionaire, so, yeah, he's a really good example, and what he says actually and he makes a lot of sense. It really depends. Some of your videos could go viral. He says, "You know what? Your first 100 videos, they're just not gonna get good views. They're just not, basically. Make 100 videos whenever you can, and then after every 100 videos, improve something, and keep improving from that. 100 videos, improve something. 200 videos, improve something. 300 videos, improve something." And keep going from there, basically. And that's what I've been doing. So basically, yeah. What were you saying there? Smarty games? Absolutely, yeah. So I mean, like I said, Mr. Beast, I know for a fact he ate, slept, and breathed YouTube. He probably made videos galore. I mean, because he was facing an ultimatum. His mom told him, either move out or get a job or go to college. He was probably making several hundreds of videos a week, hundreds. And then finally, he got big. He got noticed and got big, basically. And that's what I need to do. So yeah, and only with your guys' support. So I really appreciate it. All right, guys, I need to get going. So yeah, that's a very inspirational story. So Mr. Beast is a really good example of somebody who was started with nothing and he rose to the top. And I hope and I'm assuming that a lot of you YouTubers want to be that person someday. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and follow. Have a good night. Bye. All right, thank you, Smarty Games, and thank you, Lee. Bye. Hope to see you soon in my lives.